As the ongoing conflict between Russia and Ukraine continues to unfold across various fronts, today's review will focus on some intriguing events. These include the unique confrontation between North Korean soldiers and drones, an explosion incident as a Russian soldier inspects landmines, and the destruction of a Russian convoy by Ukrainian forces. By analyzing these incidents together, we will gain a broader perspective on the complex dynamics of the war. Stay with us as we closely follow the intricate developments of this conflict. The 37th Marine Brigade detects a large Russian convoy near the village of Ulakli in the Donetsk region. The convoy intends to enter the area and launch a large-scale assault. However, Ukrainian forces have anticipated a potential Russian advance and have devised a strategic defense plan. The routes expected to be used by Russian troops have been pre-mined and prepared for an ambush by the Ukrainian army. As the Russian forces proceed along their designated routes, one of the leading armored vehicles in the convoy unknowingly strikes a mine. A massive explosion erupts, sending flames high into the sky. The blast instantly neutralizes the vehicle's crew, while the following Russian vehicles abruptly halt, disrupting the convoy's formation. Panic spreads among the soldiers, creating a perfect opportunity for the Ukrainian forces to launch an attack. Seizing the moment, Ukrainian artillery units swiftly spring into action, initiating an intense bombardment. Howitzers and drones strike their targets simultaneously. Following the initial strike, multiple armored vehicles and personnel carriers within the Russian convoy catch fire. At this point, the remaining Russian vehicles attempt a rapid retreat from the area. However, their escape routes are closely monitored by Ukrainian drones, which systematically eliminate them with precision airstrikes. Some Russian vehicles try to take cover in the nearby forest, but within minutes, most of the Russian troops are either destroyed along with their vehicles or scattered, desperately trying to survive without protection. In the final moments of the battle, Ukrainian forces conduct a reconnaissance flight over the area, identifying any surviving Russian soldiers. A few fleeing Russian infantrymen are targeted and neutralized by drones. After the intense explosions and relentless assaults, an eerie silence settles over the battlefield. Smoke rises from the burning wreckage, marking the complete repulsion of this major Russian attack by Ukrainian forces. The UA Reg unit of Ukraine's 8th Special Forces Regiment detects North Korean soldiers in the Kursk region. Ukrainian forces begin closely monitoring this military presence using reconnaissance drones. Footage reveals a wounded North Korean soldier lying on the ground. However, his exact condition remains unclear. A Ukrainian FPV drone carefully descends, landing near the soldier. At first, the North Korean soldier remains motionless. However, upon noticing the drone's landing, he suddenly jumps up and attempts to flee. At that moment, the drone takes off again. Confused and unsure of what to do, the soldier tries to swat the drone away with his hand. The Ukrainian FPV pilot, however, does not immediately engage in a strike. Instead, observing the situation attentively, panicked, the North Korean soldier reaches for his weapon. In that instant, the Ukrainian FPV pilot reacts swiftly and initiates an attack. The drone locks onto the soldier and crashes directly into him. The ensuing explosion kills the North Korean soldier on the spot. The 1st Assault Battalion of Ukraine's 92nd Assault Brigade detects Russian infantry in the Nikolaevsky area of the Kursk region. Footage reveals numerous wounded Russian soldiers struggling to survive. Many have lost their comrades and are now completely alone. Moving on foot presents a severe disadvantage, especially against drone attacks. The lack of cover in open terrain and constant surveillance drastically reduce the survival chances of Russian infantry. Additionally, the psychological toll of war weakens soldiers' reflexes and decision-making abilities, making them even more vulnerable. In such situations, Ukrainian drones do not only target exposed soldiers, but also those taking shelter in defensive positions. Once the drone operators pinpoint the exact locations of Russian troops, they initiate their attacks. Even those hiding in makeshift shelters cannot escape drone strikes. FPV drones are precisely guided into these positions, detonating upon impact. The use of drones in warfare has fundamentally altered the dynamics of modern combat. Unmanned aerial vehicles not only serve as reconnaissance tools, but also play a crucial role in directly eliminating targets. For infantry moving in open terrain, evading drone strikes has become nearly impossible. Russian troops often attempt to survive by taking cover in open fields or temporary shelters. However, drones equipped with advanced thermal cameras and precision guidance systems can easily detect these positions. Wounded or exhausted soldiers become particularly vulnerable as they lose mobility, further decreasing their chances of survival. Some soldiers attempt to defend themselves by retreating into shelters, but these structures offer minimal protection. FPV drones are directed straight into these hideouts, neutralizing their occupants. The resulting explosions leave no chance for escape, ensuring complete destruction of the targeted positions. Finding a secure shelter on the battlefield is crucial for infantry, especially those moving through open terrain. However, with modern warfare technologies, these hiding spots are no longer as safe as they once were. Russian forces, facing harsh weather conditions and exposed positions in open fields, attempt to conceal themselves behind small structures or natural obstacles. Thanks to unmanned aerial vehicles, UAVs, and advanced reconnaissance systems, such hiding places are quickly detected. Ukrainian forces carry out precision strikes on these locations, eliminating them with devastating efficiency. These attacks often involve anti-tank mines and high-explosive munitions, leaving enemy troops with little chance of escape. These operations are fundamentally changing the dynamics of warfare. Areas once considered safe have now become high-risk zones. Technological superiority provides not only a battlefield advantage but also a significant psychological edge. Knowing they can be spotted and attacked at any moment, enemy troops are forced to operate under constant pressure. Ukraine has developed a new tactic by deploying TM62 anti-tank mines using UAVs. This method allows mines to be placed deep into enemy lines safely and effectively. Specifically, heavy-lift drones, known as Baba Yaga, are used to drop TM62 mines into enemy-controlled areas. During nighttime operations, these drones equipped with thermal cameras silently infiltrate enemy defenses and strategically deploy the mines. This tactic is primarily aimed at restricting the movement of enemy armored vehicles and disrupting their supply lines. The TM62 is a circular anti-tank mine weighing approximately 10 kilograms, containing 7.5 kilograms of high explosives. Originally developed by the Soviet Union, this mine is still widely used by both Ukraine and Russia. Tests have shown that the TM62M variant is effective against heavily armored vehicles like the Centurion tank. Ukraine's integration of these mines with UAV technology highlights how modern warfare is evolving. These innovative tactics provide greater operational flexibility, enabling more effective engagements against enemy forces on the battlefield. The 426th Unmanned Systems Battalion detected a Russian 2S-4 Tyolpan self-propelled mortar in a forested area northeast of the village of Kostoraisove in the Kherson region. This powerful weapon was camouflaged and deployed in the dense woods, unaware that Ukrainian forces were monitoring its movements. The Ukrainian reconnaissance and surveillance units observed the target continuing to move without knowing it was being watched. Recognizing the opportunity, the battalion decided to launch an effective attack using its unmanned aerial vehicles. Drones were launched in succession, each carefully guided to the target using aerial precision. The Ukrainian forces initiated the assault, with each drone making pinpoint strikes on the 2S-4 Tyolpan. The mortar was destroyed in a series of powerful explosions, and thick smoke enveloped the area as the Russian weapon was completely neutralized. After confirming the success of the operation, the Ukrainian forces quickly withdrew to secure areas. The 2S-4 Tyolpan is a 240mm caliber self-propelled mortar developed during the Soviet era and still used by Russia and former Soviet countries. Entering service in the 1970s, it remains a formidable asset in Russia's arsenal. In the Ukraine-Russia conflict, the Tu-S4 has been actively deployed in Russian attacks, and Ukraine's successful countermeasure demonstrates the effectiveness of its defensive and offensive strategies. Throughout the war, Ukraine has focused heavily on modern air defense systems and armored units to limit the impact of Russia's heavy weaponry. At the same time, it has developed effective countermeasures against Russia's heavy fire support systems. The Tu-S4's ability to strike armored vehicles and strategic points with high-caliber munitions makes it a significant threat. But Ukraine's strategy of bolstering defense lines and neutralizing these systems has proven effective. Ukraine's approach to combating heavy Russian weaponry like the Tu-S4 Tyolpan includes fast and flexible modern systems, precise drone attacks, and the integration of advanced air defense systems from the West. The goal is to halt Russian advances, destroy armored vehicles and heavy mortars, and limit the impact of Russia's ground assaults. The following footage shows the tragic explosion that occurred while a Russian soldier was inspecting a mined area. The soldier appears to be conducting routine checks on the mines in the region, carefully examining them. However, a momentary lapse in attention or an unexpected trigger leads to a fatal outcome. Suddenly, one of the mines becomes activated, causing a powerful explosion.
Да поближе покажи, блядь, как футляр из-под очков, нахуй. О, бля!
Mines that have been buried underground for extended periods can become more sensitive due to environmental conditions. Over time, their mechanical components may wear out, or the chemical explosives can become more unstable, making them more likely to be triggered by even the smallest contact. A minor mistake made by the soldier during the inspection could have triggered a pressure sensor or a delicate trigger mechanism, leading to the explosion. Additionally, some modern mines are not merely pressure sensitive. They are equipped with magnetic or electronic triggers that can be activated by specific electromagnetic waves or changes in magnetic fields. The soldier's use of a radio metal detector or another electronic device could have set off the mine. Ukraine has strategically employed such explosives on the battlefield to slow enemy movements, render certain areas inaccessible, and disrupt the advance of Russian forces. This event highlights the deadly and unpredictable nature of mine warfare, which continues to be a significant threat in modern conflicts. The 4th Rubish Rapid Reaction Brigade of the National Guard was conducting a reconnaissance operation near the village of Spirn in the Donetsk region when they detected 3 Russian soldiers. The enemy forces were cautiously advancing through a dense forested area, but soon decided to stop and rest on a path they believed to be safe. Seizing the opportunity, Ukrainian forces quickly mobilized to exploit the enemy's vulnerable moment. Reconnaissance teams determined that an artillery strike would be the most effective option and promptly calculated the target coordinates. Once the target was confirmed, Ukrainian troops launched a precise mortar attack. The mortar shell landed with pinpoint accuracy, resulting in a powerful explosion. Thick smoke engulfed the area, and all Russian infantrymen were eliminated on the spot. After confirming the success of the strike, the Ukrainian forces withdrew to a secure position, completing their operation. Ukraine has been effectively utilizing mortars to achieve significant battlefield successes. Particularly on the Bakhmut front, mortar units undergo regular training to enhance firing accuracy and conduct well-coordinated operations, reducing the likelihood of unplanned shots. These training exercises run parallel to ongoing combat activities, ensuring continuous skill development. To bolster its mortar capabilities, Ukraine has procured Alakrin mortar-equipped VAMTAC vehicles from Spain, deploying these modern systems with the 210th Assault Regiment. These advanced systems provide Ukrainian forces with faster and more accurate firepower. With consistent training, advanced weaponry, and strategic fire control, the Ukrainian army maintains its battlefield effectiveness and continues to achieve operational success. The Ronin unit of the 65th Motorized Brigade detects 3 Russian Buk M3 air defense systems in the Zaporizhzhia region. The Buk M3 is one of Russia's advanced medium-range air defense systems, posing a significant threat to Ukrainian aerial operations. However, for such systems to function effectively, they must be well concealed. The geographical conditions in the region, however, prove to be a major disadvantage for the Russian forces. The Buk M3 batteries have been deployed among dried-out trees in an area lacking dense vegetation, making them easy targets for detection. Ukrainian drones quickly mobilize. After carefully analyzing their targets, drone operators determine the most effective angles for attack. The first FPV drone pilot locks onto the ammunition compartment of a Buk M3 system. As the drone approaches, it makes small adjustments to its trajectory before crashing directly into the ammunition storage, triggering a massive explosion. The first Buk M3 is completely destroyed. Ukrainian forces immediately plan an assault on the second Buk M3. Another FPV drone is guided towards its ammunition compartment, striking the target with pinpoint accuracy. A powerful explosion erupts, engulfing the Buk M3 in flames. The final, third Buk M3 remains stationary and untouched. Determined to complete the operation, Ukrainian forces send a third drone, which speeds toward the target and crashes directly into the radar system. The radar tower is obliterated, and the entire air defense system is rendered inoperable. The Russian air defense capability in the region collapses entirely. This attack delivers a severe blow to Russian air defense capacity, leaving their forces in the area highly vulnerable to airstrikes. The precision and effectiveness of Ukrainian drone operators once again demonstrate the decisive role of unmanned aerial systems in modern warfare. This successful operation strengthens Ukraine's air superiority and provides a strategic advantage for future military maneuvers.